Boys, what's the first rule when you want to pass somebody? That's right. Don't follow.
Eli Tomac. They're just a few positions back. Look at Eli! Right around the outside!
How gnarly was that? That was pretty sick. That line only worked for like 2 laps, though. And luckily, there was a lapper in front of Eli that forced him to go to the inside because Jett was going to pass him back in that same spot if he didn't. In the beginning of that race, it kind of seemed like Jett was doing the same thing that he was at A1. He looked tentative. He looked uncomfortable. And then when Eli passed him, it was like something switched back in his brain. He was like, oh, yeah, I'm Jett Lawrence. I can go a lot faster than this. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, I think Jett was probably fine. He did look a little tentative, but I think the real thing is that he's never really seen Eli like this before, because Jett's normal racing style is just all about patience and, like they say on the broadcast, just letting the race come to him. But when Eli passed him like that, I think Jett realized, like, I can't just kind of sit here and just slowly pick these guys off, because if I let Eli get too far ahead, I'm not going to catch him. So I think Jett had to change the way that he races compared to how he was like last year or how he does outdoors, where he literally just kind of, if he's out front, he just manages the pace that he needs to stay out front. He's not going to go way over his head and wad himself, except for at Hangtown, you know. I think that was a bit of an overconfidence thing. And when he's not out front, he just kind of is patient. And when he sees an opening, then he takes it. And then he just kind of is patient again. He just lets things come to him. He's not one to really just like push the envelope and force a pass or anything like that. He's one that stays patient and lets things evolve how they should in his favor. And he can capitalize, yada, yada, yada. He's a patient rider. That's his whole deal. And when Eli passes you like that, I'm sure it's super gnarly. Sounds intense. It's super aggressive. I think Jett in his mind was like, I can't let Eli get too far ahead, because if he gets into the lead in the next 2 laps and I just am patient and am picking these guys off slowly one by one, Eli's going to be 10 seconds ahead by the time I get into second place. So then Jett had to be way more aggressive than normal. So I think that what looked like a switch where he got comfortable all of a sudden, I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think he just realized like, I gotta actually try. That's new for Jett. He's got to actually try. And it turned into a sick race. Eli got up to Webb. Webb is like impossible to pass, so it took him a while. Jett got back up to him, and then Jett and Eli both passed Webb kind of at the same time. And yeah, then we were treated to a very nice race. Very fun. I enjoyed it a lot. But even after 2 rounds, I think I'm kind of seeing, and I'm guessing you guys are too, that my whole 8 different winners, I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, and by the way, I think I was right on the first one. Yeah. We're 2 rounds in, and Freese is already being an idiot as a lapper and won't get out of the way. I don't see anybody winning besides Eli, Jett, or Chase. I don't know if you guys saw that Chase almost got landed on by Ferrandis. Like, real bad first couple laps for Chase. Like, that ain't going to work. When you put yourself in the back like that and you're not all there, and it showed with, I'm not going to say that he did the normal Chase thing, but he did the normal Chase thing. He washed the front. I think it's kind of cool, though, that he almost did what Eli did last weekend. Like, he was real close to matching last to 5th. But if you watch during the broadcast, I was trying to keep an eye on Chase and how far behind he was seconds-wise. It was like 21 seconds or something the entire race. As he was going through the pack, he was 21 seconds or 22 seconds behind Eli. So obviously Chase has the speed and the ability to keep up with those guys. He's doing that as he's going through the pack. So he's still, in my eyes, the favorite, but I don't see anybody being able to keep up with those 3. I thought it would be a competitive season, I think everybody's gotten faster, but I think Eli and Chase got up to Jett's level, and Jett didn't do much to increase his level, so I think it's going to be a gnarly battle all year between those three. I wouldn't be surprised if it's those three on the podium most of the time, and they're going to be 15 seconds ahead of fourth or 30 seconds or a minute. It's definitely a 3-horse race, for sure. But when you watch during qualifying, those three are so much faster than everybody else. But to me, Chase looks the most comfortable. He's not really riding over his head to put in those laps. You see Eli and you see Jett, and they're making a couple mistakes here and there, and Chase is just kind of hitting his marks. Like, it's kind of effortless. He's able to put in a couple laps at that speed. I don't know. Chase is still my favorite, but the last 2 weekends, I think, have proven to me there's a very high chance nobody but those three wins a race. No, I don't think it's happening. But man, this weekend was kind of carnage. Dudes were wadding all over the place. That quad was insane. I don't know if you guys listened to Justin Hill's podcast on Gypsy Tales, but he brought up something that I haven't noticed, and it's the space between the corner and the first jump. He's like, the 250 guys can pretty much do everything the 450 guys are doing, especially out in the corners, because there's just a little bit more space between the berm and the first jump. So if tracks are built the way that they used to be built, with that first jump a little bit closer to the berm, I don't know if the 250 guys would have been able to triple in. So they wouldn't have been able to do the quad. But the fact that like privateers were doing the triple quad, I don't know if they built that right. Yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of what I thought after this race is like, nobody's keeping up with those three. We might get a fluke winner here or there, but I don't think you'll see anybody on the top box other than those three for most of the time. Which, hey, I mean, it should be a good championship battle, but it's going to be like a Carmichael Reed Stewart kind of deal where they're just so far ahead of everybody else. But hey, as long as there's good racing, I don't mind. I don't know if you guys mind. I don't mind. Yeah, it was a fun weekend. I enjoyed it. I need to watch it again. I need to watch the 250s maybe again so I can think of something to talk about, because that's literally all I could think of was this. I'm trying to get back into this YouTube thing. It's hard. The brain doesn't come up with things like it should. Anyways, yeah, 3-horse race. I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe. Let's get to 10K. Leave a like. All that good stuff. You know. Got a new mic. Hopefully it sounds good. We'll see. I haven't heard it yet. Okay. Bye.